the lunar eclipse in the sign of the Scorpion. Hello stargazers, Bryan Colter here, evolutionary astrologer, for another horoscope report for the upcoming Scorpio lunar eclipse that happens in just a couple days on May 5th, but I'll be describing the energy as it unfolds for the next couple weeks. Before we get to that though, quick announcement. I have a live guided meditation every week on Zoom, totally free, where people from this community come together to meditate for internal peace and world peace. It's every Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific. I'll put the Zoom link below. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the astrology. Okay, so the biggie here is the lunar eclipse, and whenever there's an eclipse, the sun and moon will always be near what are called the nodes of the moon. And as we can see here, the nodes of the moon are at 3.5 degrees of Scorpio and Taurus respectively. And since the nodes are always moving backwards in the chart, we only have a couple months here. Early July, the nodes will finally be changing signs. Now, they haven't changed signs since December of 2021. The nodes of the moon spent about 18 or 18.5 months in a given sign combo. So it's been quite a while where we've been working through this Scorpio-Taurus energy that's going to shift in a couple months. And whenever there's major planetary activations to the nodes, within that 18-month span of time, you'll find extreme pockets of energy really activating those nodes. So obviously, solar and lunar eclipses would be the big triggers. But for this one, we also have Pluto, which is very strong right now because it just retrograded about 3 or 4 days ago. And what that means is it's moving backwards now from our perspective on Earth. But since it just went retrograde and Pluto is the slowest moving of all the planets, it's almost standstill in the sky, seemingly, from our perspective. So it's called stationed. And whenever a planet is stationed, it is on steroids. So we have this supercharged Pluto, which, by the way, is the planet that rules Scorpio, okay? So here it is, Scorpio's planet, in a very tight, what's called square aspect to the nodes themselves. And square is a friction-based aspect. So we have a very strong Pluto. The archetypal god of hell is in a tension-based aspect with the Scorpion south node. Okay, so this is pretty dramatic energy. Drama's a good word for the first couple weeks of May. So is intensity. Let's put Pluto on the back burner for now and just wrestle with this Scorpio-Taurus polarity. And this is a very powerful hermetic principle, is to master the art form of polarity. And this is very much in the heart of astrology. Now, recognizing that the south node of the moon represents the collective karma that has ripened for us. And we've been working through this since December of 2021. And with the South Node, we always want to be emphasizing the more negative qualities of it, because that, as a group, as a collective, we're trying to outgrow and move beyond the challenges of the shadowy expression of the Scorpion. And then try to embrace the higher octave or higher potential expression of Taurus as a counterbalancing to master that art form of polarity. But the South Node is habit energies. It's compelling. The North Node is kind of neutral. It's nothing but a good idea. Therefore, it's harder to reach. So yes, this lunar eclipse is in Scorpio. We want to keep our eyes on what are the more shadowy elements of this sign because of its connection to the South Node right now. And then keep our eye on the higher ground, which is that strong response to Taurus energy. Taurus is really key. I just wrote a newsletter on my website, and that was the title of it. Taurus is key. So we'll look for some of the warning signs and then how to be working with this energy more proactively. So the collective karma at maximum now during this lunar eclipse, this last hurrah of the nodes before they change signs in July. Meanwhile, Pluto is squaring them. So Scorpio, and I did introduce it as the Scorpion, and Scorpions scare us, and if we think of that emotion of fear, fear is a charged emotion, okay? It's a stress-based emotion. So when we think about the darker potentials of Scorpio and the challenges of it, is growing beyond our own stress-based emotions or our triggers or all those gremlins that we house in our subconsciousness. You know, all the pains you've been through, all the losses you've endured, all the friends you've buried, all the love's gone bad, you know, looking at your childhood like a psychotherapist would, or the karmic wounds on your soul like a evolutionary astrologer might when you're giving you a karmic reading. You know, we're all wounded somehow. And while the South Node is in Scorpio, what we've been working with as a collective is our wounds have been bubbling up to the surface. And people, on average, have been more reactive. And whenever the South Node's going through Scorpio, that year and a half is usually pretty dramatic, where people's traumas rise to the surface, manifesting as the more egoic expressions of whatever they're working with in their subconsciousness. You know, if they're more prone to anger, well, that's going to come out more. If they're more prone to fear, that's going to come out more. You know, all those creepy crawlies, which is just, you know, gremlins in our subconscious are just habit energies. And if we express those habit energies continually over the course of a life or lifetimes, they grow as you age, because where your attention goes, energy flows. You're a soul incarnate. You're so powerful. All of us are. And we can create with our attention, with our consciousness. And those painful emotions, if we allow them expression repeatedly over long periods of time, they become a part of us, okay? So, you know, during the Scorpio lunar eclipse, this is bringing this dark side Scorpio energy to maximum. And the moon itself, especially a full moon, tends to have a profound effect on our emotional reality anyways. Okay, the moon has always said to represent our subjective reality, our astral bodies or our emotional bodies. And moon is always strongest when it's in a water sign like Scorpio. So this is going to be a very tense full moon. We're going to want to keep our attention on the world, see what goes on, especially when we tie Pluto into this, because Pluto entered into Aquarius in March. And now it's gone retrograde and it's about to leave Aquarius in early June, I think June 11th. And what I said back in March, this is very pivotal point, and we're getting a sneak preview of what the next couple decades of Pluto and Aquarius will be, because it's a major generational shift. So from March to early June, we get this preview, and we want to pay close attention to what goes on during this time, because that's going to say a lot about what's going to continue to build as we move forward over the next 20 or 20 plus years. Astrology is just a finger pointing at reality. So if we look at Pluto and Aquarius over the last couple months, see what has gone on, what's happened within the collective, especially when we connect it to the archetypal field of Aquarius. For starters, Aquarius is about a technological revolution. And what have we seen? AI. Everybody's talking about AI. And just yesterday or a couple days ago, the godfather of AI has officially left Google and is warning everybody about the dangers ahead for humanity. And he's not the only one. Many experts are saying AI could lead to the end of humanity. Now, is that because we've watched too many science fiction films and read too many books? Maybe in part, you know. But even if there's a 1% chance that that is a correct prediction, we need to be taking this very, very seriously, okay? But the percentage is probably higher than that. And this is an area that I think needs regulation, in my opinion, okay? And one of the dark sides of Aquarius, it's known as the criminal archetype. And criminals could very well use AI tech to create awful situations for everybody. And then we take this idea of technology. Just a week or two, the Elon Musk Starship took off, the biggest rocket to ever take off. Now, to everybody there at SpaceX, they were in tears of joy and elation. And they thought to themselves, this is amazing. It got off the platform. It took off. This should be a galvanizing influence for humanity. Of course, mainstream media only talked about how it blew up, you know. But even Elon said there was about a 50% chance he thought it would actually lift off the platform. So to SpaceX, it was a tremendous success. To the mainstream media, which likes to be more divisive, they thought it as a utter failure. whatever opinion you have, it doesn't really matter. It was still an impressive feat. That's a big ship, okay? And that's just a sneak preview or a teaser of what's going to continue to unfold while Pluto's through Aquarius. Here's another thing that's been happening is the banking crisis. We've had banks go belly up, many of them. In fact, some of them were heavily connected to Silicon Valley and the tech industry. There's that connection to technology there. But beyond some of these banks failing, I really feel like this is going to, end up pushing us more and more towards digital currency. Now, if the digital currency remains centralized, that could be quite dangerous. If we go more towards decentralization in currency, that could be an amazing thing. So we'll just have to see what happens. But, these triggering of the bank failures is leading to that, in my opinion. Now, there's another aspect of Aquarius where it's known as the rebel and the revolutionary. And people who have strong Aquarius in their chart, they were born rebels, which means they look at reality through a much different lens and filter, okay? So they're very, very different. And Aquarians on this planet are playing a precious role in the evolution of society as we enter into this Aquarian age, because they're helping society to evolve. Now, part of a challenge of Aquarius energy can be a sense of not fitting in, feeling like an outsider or an exile or an alien in your own life. And they can also suffer from constant rejection and betrayal and abandonment because they view reality through a different lens, and therefore they don't fit into the mainstream, nor should they, okay? So we take this idea, especially with Pluto, because Pluto, ultimately, I introduced him as the god of hell. It's just a metaphor for our inner hell worlds that we create within ourselves. Much like Scorpio, there's the overlap in meaning. It's our woundedness. And, Pluto is ultimately about transforming from those wounds. So we can psychopathologize Aquarius here and recognize that the woundedness from feeling alienated within society, okay, and feeling like you're strange, and then growing up with the psychopathology and growing this like ego-centered attachment to their own uniqueness, and then they honor that uniqueness and then shove it in everybody else's faces. And as annoying as that can be sometimes, we got to look at that compassionately and recognize that behavior is only an extension of their suffering. And you're seeing this in a variety of different ways throughout society. So dark side Aquarius is an ego-centered attachment to your own uniqueness and eccentricities. Now, speaking of this Aquarius rebel revolutionary archetype, what else is going on? Well, many of you may not know because the revolution will not be televised, but in France, they are going through massive protests right now, and they're actually turning pretty violent during this eclipse season. So here's this maximum crescendo or apex of energy as this lunar eclipse is hitting the nodes, this last hurrah of the nodes in these signs. And it's getting pretty violent. I've seen videos online of like fire bombs, police officers on fire, and I'm sure the police officers are fighting back. So it's getting pretty violent over there. I wish it was covered more so we could see what's going on. But people are calling it the French Revolution 2.0. And astrology is just a finger pointing at reality. Pluto in Aquarius, this sneak preview, this rebellion continuing to grow. Now, in France's case, I don't think this has gotten this far just because retirement age got extended by 2 years. I think this is a deeper layer issue, really festering within us, this frustration over the last few years, during the lockdowns and whatnot. And this is really a fight against globalism and the globalist agenda and control and all that. So during this Scorpio lunar eclipse, this coming out into full intensity, all these things I'm talking about, and we just observe reality. That's the goal. Like, don't get caught up in it because, lunar eclipse in Scorpio, a lot of people will get caught up into the psychodrama of it all. And the woundedness is coming out. And the way you can work with this proactively for your own betterment and evolution is really, again, Taurus is key. And Taurus is an earth sign, it's a grounded sign. And as people are really getting thrown about in the choppy, turbulent waters of their emotions, it's important to really get a grounding rod beneath you, that tethering, so that you can remain peaceful and calm and reasonable and practical and grounded. These are the virtuous expressions of the Taurus archetype. Scorpio represents the great god of complexity, and the human psyche is a very complex thing. Well, Taurus is the great god of simplicity. It's all so simple. Let's go back to our roots. Let's go back to our monkey body, our innate instinctual wisdom that's been evolving over millions and millions of years. One helpful strategy during this time is just keep your conscious awareness on your body, in the core of your body. Return to the breath, return to nature, return to earthy animal instincts. And within those instincts, you'll find pockets of peace. And Taurus is ruled by Venus, the goddess of peace and tranquility. So serenity is key amongst the chaos. And a healthy integration is, by connecting to the body, we can release, we can let go of some of these attachments to our internal emotional states that are less comfortable or more stress-based. We can just let go. Let's say you get triggered and you get a little angry or something like that. Just sit down, breathe, stop thinking, bring your conscious awareness into the trunk of your body, and just do that for a few minutes, and whatever emotion you're feeling will just dissolve, and you'll return to your natural state, which is your birthright, which is peace. Letting go from the body is a powerful practice. It's very common for people, for example, to being on the massage table, and then, the person hits a very specific muscle group that's maybe been tight or holding something, and they'll just start crying on the table. There's that emotional release through the healing of the massage. A massage is a very Taurus activity. So if there's a prescription here from Dr. Bryan, and I say doctor very loosely, it's go get a massage, There you are on the table, receiving a 90-minute Thai massage, and they're kind of bending you around like a pretzel, but when it's all over, how do you feel? There's that peace. And you walk out of the massage parlor, and it's pretty hard for you to get triggered by somebody in that state of relaxation. This is a metaphor, what I'm talking about here between Taurus and Scorpio. And this connection between our emotional body or astral body and the physical body is profound. They're inextricably bound. They affect each other. Okay? When we get triggered by a strong stress-based emotion, our energy body looks like a threatened cat, and our physical body feels it too. And so too with our physical body, it has an effect on our emotional or astral body, because when we're in that relaxed state, we're not triggered as easily. And then also, if we do get triggered, we can just kind of shake it off like a horse kind of shakes. You ever see the horses shake like that? They're just releasing tension and tightness. Also, meditation can be very helpful during this time. Many of you know I'm a big advocate for meditation. The meditation at the end of this video is designed for peace, but then also that meditation I do each Sunday live on Zoom is about cultivating inner peace and world peace. Both of those would be great options during this time. So, there's a lot of craziness going on. AI's taken over the world. We got starships taking off and exploding in the sky. We got banks dying. French Revolution 2.0. People are getting triggered. It's chaos. It's a psychodrama. But just keep your earth on the feet. Connect with Mother Nature. Go listen to some birds. And just lean into the wisdom of simplicity amongst the chaos. Perhaps that's an oversimplification. But as long as we're headed in the direction of simplifying and away from the complexities of the egoism psychodrama, we're at least heading in the right direction towards that more reasonable groundedness. And that's a win. This is the core evolutionary intentions, with the goal being to expand our consciousness. Now we'll start the meditation. Please use headphones for best results, because I use a technology called binaural beats. Enjoy. We will begin with a divine invocation. You can follow along with me or use your own prayer. Absolute infinite beingness, God, everlasting life, love and mercy, manifesting yourself in yourself as your total wisdom and almightiness. Please open our minds to understand that you are the truth, and cleanse our hearts to reflect your love towards you and all other beings. Amen. We will begin with doing some etheric breathing. Follow along with me. Be a nice long inhale, and then we'll hold the breath at the top with a pause, and then nice long exhale. Hold the breath at the bottom. And let's begin. Inhale, nice long inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale, nice and long. Hold the breath. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. 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 Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And hold. And now return to the normal breath. Deep, rhythmic, comfortable breathing. Whatever feels natural to you. And focus all your attention on your stomach area. And visualize a sky blue sphere in your stomach. Beautiful sky blue color. And each time you inhale, see that sky blue sphere glow as brightly as you can visualize. And as you exhale, see the sky blue color, almost like waves, flow in every direction throughout your body, releasing any tension and tightness. As you inhale, the sphere glows bright. And as you exhale, waves of sky blue flow throughout your entire body in all directions. The frequency of sky blue has a calming effect. And feel this tranquility suffuse with every cell of your physical body. Maintain this visualization for a few more breaths. And silently say to yourself, I want perfect health in my physical body. Let the color fade. And on the next inhale, move your attention up to your chest. And visualize a rosy pink sphere in and around your chest. With each inhale, you see the sphere glow as brightly as you can visualize. And as you exhale, feel all your emotions and desires relax. As you inhale and see the color glow more bright, also feel the love in your heart. And as you exhale, let go of any unhealthy desires. Maintain this visualization and intention for a few more breaths. Silently say to yourself, I wish for perfect health in my emotional body. My subjective reality will remain healthy and balanced. On the next inhale, see the pink sphere in your chest begin to grow in all directions around you. And watch it continually grow, almost like a big bubble. It passes out of the building or house that you're in, above the trees. Growing pink bubble. and feel this rosy light pour from your heart into this bubble, blanketing your neighbor's home, and now the whole neighborhood continuing to grow and grow and grow. Now the entire town. Feel peace and joy in your heart, and allow this joy to expand around you in all directions. And now see it grow all the way to cover the entire nation. Maybe there's some trouble in part of your nation. Your heart continues to pour out love for all. The whole country is now covered in this rosy light. The bubble grows. Up into the clouds and then the atmosphere. Now it's covering the whole planet, and visualize the planet covered in this rosy sphere. This gorgeous paradise. You can sense there's fighting in various parts of the world. But you see no borders marked. It is one world. All trouble is born out of ignorance and misunderstanding. We want to love each other and live in peace. Now your heart is a river of rose light which floods the entire globe with peace and love. Visualize millions of people smiling with their faces bathed in this rose light. Visualize men laying down their weapons, embracing one another. See people giving food and clothing to others in need. And see this pink color cover the whole planet. And now you see the planet move towards you and nestle in your heart. Keep the planet in your heart. Slowly and gently return your awareness to your body and the environment around you, and slowly begin to shift your body a little bit. Wiggle your fingers and toes. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes.